if you're an IB student and you're getting ready to go into the IB next year, one of the most important decisions you have to make is choosing which subjects to take, picking the right battle. If you pick the wrong battle, no matter how hard you work next year, your efforts will not pay out. The first reason why picking the right battle, picking the right subjects is so important is because certain subjects in university, certain degrees in university require very specific requirements for the IB diploma. For example, if you want to study medicine at HKU, you'll need to do higher level chemistry and higher level biology. Actually, one of my classmates, when I did the IB a few years back then, one of my classmates, he always wanted to take medicine at HKU. He worked very hard throughout the IB diploma, but he still failed to get into his dream university and his dream subject. And the reason was because he did not choose the right subjects, he did not meet the HKU requirements. So no matter how hard he worked, he would not be able to get in. And so if you don't focus and check the university requirements, you'll be wasting all your efforts, because no matter how hard you work, you wouldn't reach your goal. It's like losing before the battle even began. If you're just graduated from GCSE or done the IB NYP, it's graduating, you're going to IB diploma next year, you don't know, you're kind of confused about which subject to choose, this video is for you. Actually, I've personally done the IB before. I graduated in 2011 and I got 40 out of 45. And in this video, just treat me as a friend. I'll tell you exactly from my own experience of the IB diploma, which are some subjects that are hard that you should avoid, and what are some subjects that are very easy and you can very easily maximize your score. And of course, I used to be in the IB school, and so I have a lot of in-depth knowledge about which subjects are hard and which subjects are easy. Because I hang in there, and you know, there are 6 IB groups, right? 6 subject groups you can choose from. Language A, Language B, Maths, Sciences, Humanities, and Arts. And you should choose 6 subjects from these 6 areas. So it's tell you strategically how to maximize your score. So the first subject group we'll talk about is math. So there are 3 math subjects you can choose from: math higher level, math standard level, or math studies. So which one of these should you choose? Well, it really depends, first of all, on your math ability. For math studies, it's for if you're really bad at math right now, you can go for math studies. It's really easy. If you're willing to study, you can get at least a level 7, and at least a level 6 actually, if you're willing to study. For math standard level, it's also quite easy. Like if you used to do the IGCSE and you were average in math, you can do okay in math standard level. If you're willing to study, you can also at least get a level 6. It's not a problem. The patterns in the exams are pretty obvious, and so if you're willing to study, put in the hard work to get all the question patterns, there's not a single reason why you'll not be able to get a 6. To get a level 7, you may need to be a bit good at math, but to get a level 6, if you're not that bad, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And for math higher level, I would say if you're so-so in math in GCSE and in the NYP program, you would suffer in math higher level. Probably I know some students, they're okay in GCSE in math, but once they got to IB, they took the higher level maths. In the first 2 tests, they got like 3 out of 7, and then they dropped out. What is the biggest difference between math higher level and standard level or studies? The biggest difference is that in math higher level, the questions are not so predictable. In math standard level, if you do all the past paper questions, and you will basically see a very clear pattern, and the questions are always the same. It's very repetitive. But for math higher level, from my own experience, I used to take math higher level, it really requires to think out of the box. Like a lot of times the questions are not in a very, there's not a clear pattern to the questions, you get what I mean? So every year's question, there's a slight twist. It really requires you to kind of think outside the box. So if you're not the kind of person who likes problem solving, you would find math higher level very challenging, and you wouldn't enjoy it. So math higher level, I think, is for people who are really good at math. And if you're good at math in GCSE, you can get, if you study, I think you can get at least a level 6. A level 6 should, most of my classmates actually, when they did the IB who took math higher level, most of them were able to get a level 6 for those who studied and for those who were actually good. But if you're not a very mathematical person, there's a high chance you could get a very poor mark. Okay? But from my own perspective, if you like problem solving, I highly recommend you to take math higher level. It's one of the subjects I enjoyed most actually when I did the IB, because it's really rigorous and it requires you to really think. It really trains your thinking ability. So now let's move on to the sciences. So many students have 2 questions when it comes to choosing the science subjects. The first question is which science to choose. Is it biology, chemistry, or physics? The second question is standard level or higher level. Well, let me start off with the first question, which is which subjects you should choose. I really believe that chemistry, biology, and physics, they are for three types of people. So if you're those kind of people who only likes to memorize and do not really enjoy problem solving, like you enjoy group memorizing more, then biology will be the subject for you. I've taught biology before in the standard level, and there's not much problem solving skills you need. It's more about memorizing. But let us talk about physics. For physics, it's the exact opposite of biology. So it's purely problem solving, nothing much to memorize. There's a formula booklet, but it's all about understanding how to use the formulas. So if you're the kind of person who likes problem solving, memorizing very little, and using what you have, and solve a lot of problems, if you're that kind of person, physics would be for you. And for chemistry is really a combination of both of those. So for some topics in chemistry, there is a lot of things to memorize, but for others, it's more about calculations, right? So chemistry would be half-half. Okay, so let me answer you the second common question, which is higher level or standard level. Well, the biggest difference between higher level and standard level is that higher level, the content is at least twice a standard level. It's because for all IB science courses are structured like that. There's a standard level part and there's a higher level part for every topic. And the higher level part is, if not bigger, it's at least the same size as the standard level. So you should expect double the workload if you're studying higher level, double or more than double. Okay. But a lot of some professional degrees require specific requirements in terms of taking physics higher level, for example. So if you want that information, you can download the free copy of the course selection guide. I think if you're a student based in Hong Kong, you're probably faced with the problem of should I do English as the first language or Chinese as the first language? Well, what is the difference between first language and the second language? The main difference is for first language, it's much more about analyzing literature. Yeah, so it's about analyzing poems, something like that. For both Chinese and English, it's like that. Writing it in like pieces of analysis to analyze poems. And for second language, it's more about testing your literacy. Actually, personally, I took the Chinese B course before, and the exam was very much like taking IELTS. If you have taken the IELTS before, you get what I mean. Basically, if you can read Chinese, you can get a level 7, in my own opinion. Okay, so it depends on should you do Chinese as first language or English? It really depends on which subject you're more confident in. If you have grown up speaking of English, then probably you should go for English as first language and vice versa. Another question students typically ask is about whether they should do Lang Lit or Lit. Well, the biggest difference is that for the Lit course, the entire course is about literature. Okay? So for the Lang Lit course, half of it is about language, like analyzing advertisements, like analyzing language in everyday scenarios, and the second part would be on literature. So it really depends on your interest, I believe. I've talked to students who have taken both subjects, and both of them seem to be quite challenging. You need to have good language and analytical skills to do well. But the biggest difference, it really depends on your interest, I think. So if you're very interested in literature, then go for literature. If you're more interested about learning how language is applied in everyday life, then probably Lang Lit would be the one for you. So now let's go to the humanities. I know almost 90% of students I know in Hong Kong, they either do business higher level or economics higher level in the IB diploma. So I'm going to focus on talking about these two. So personally, I've taken the economics higher level course before, but I haven't done the business higher level. So I've talked to a lot of friends who have taken both about the difference. And the general picture I get is that a business higher level, like the business course, is more about common sense. So it's not as theoretical. You just memorize a few very basic concepts and apply it to real life situation and just use your common sense. And for economics, it's more theoretical. You have to understand the theory and be able to regurgitate it in an exam. So that's the biggest difference. So if you're the kind of person who's very, very logical and you like following things in a logical manner and writing things down in a logical way, economics would be a good fit for you. But if you don't like theory so much, if you like sort of real world application more, then probably business would be more suitable for you. Okay, and another feedback I got, and from myself actually, so economics higher level, the course is very different from what you would learn in the university. But business higher level, if you take a business degree, probably taking business higher level will be more beneficial because you can apply a lot of what you learn into university. Okay, another thing I would like to note is that if you're looking for a higher level course to choose, actually economics or business would be a very good choice because both of these compared to other high level, for example, English high level, math high level, or the science high level, taking the humanities as high level is much easier. If you study hard for Econ high level or business high level, there's not a reason why you are not able to get a 6 or higher. Okay, so hope that helps. So thank you very much for watching. And if you want a course selection guide for free, you can fill in the form below and get a free course selection guide. So the course selection guide will tell you exactly what are the subject requirements for top universities. So if if you want to become a doctor, you want to become a lawyer or an engineer, whatever, and you don't know what are the university requirements, and you don't know what is the grade you need to get into the subject or to a specific university, the subject guide will be a great resource for you because it will tell you exactly what are every university looking for in terms of subject requirements. Okay, so until next time.